Hi everybody. Well, another chat with one of our great Azure and DevOps community members globally this time actually. So we're talking to somebody from India today. I'd like to introduce Menaka to you, but I'm going to hand over to her to allow her to introduce herself better than I can. So Menaka, over to introduce yourself to everybody.
Yeah. Hi everyone, I'm Menaka Baskerpillai, working as Associate Software Engineer, and I'm going to discuss how to run your Azure Function apps on Azure Kubernetes Service with the help of Kida Service. That's about my session.
Okay, so as you touched on the Serverless Days 2020, you're going to be doing a lightning talk on how to take Azure Functions, which traditionally ran just inside of Azure, and containerize them and run them on top of Kubernetes. So can you talk to us a little bit about how you've enabled that scenario? What technology are you using for that?
Actually, if you have a normal web app or containerized app, it is very easy to deploy or run it in your Azure Kubernetes service. But if it comes to Azure Function app, you need something assist to deploy or running your function apps in Azure Kubernetes cluster. For that purpose, Kida comes into an extent of how to run and how to get auto scaling in exist. So that is all about my session. I'm going to discuss in Azure Serverless talk ANZ. I'm very happy to deliver this session since it's very helpful to many of people who've been working in serverless side as well as DevOps side.
Yeah, it's an interesting space. I think, having done a lot of traditional Azure serverless, that containerization story has really helped mature functions, and now the ability to run them on top of Kubernetes, you get that inbuilt auto scale capabilities without it just having to be converted into a horizontal pod autoscaler HTTP call is fantastic. Now, obviously, you do a lot of things in your job. Can you talk to us a little bit about some of the stuff you're doing with say Azure DevOps or DevOps generally and Azure Functions, and maybe some of the advantages you're seeing in that space?
Actually, I'm a developer. I usually work on developing things with Azure services. But as a developer, I need to do some other activities within DevOps platform along with serverless also. So I cannot say I am doing a complete job in my functions or in my DevOps end. It's a combo of both. So I'm very excited about working on both end where both things are which is growing in today's scenario. So serverless with DevOps is something like it's a growing tech that each and every DevOps person as well as the serverless guy who been working in triggers batch jobs need to understand and need to get the knowledge.
Okay, yeah, it's having done a lot with Azure DevOps myself, it's really great how quickly you can become productive with it, and I think once you start working in that way, it's very hard to think about working, maybe in a more traditional pre-DevOps style, potentially in a different tool chain, because you get such a great integrated experience. You touched on, you're a developer, you love to develop code. From a productivity perspective, have you found working in the serverless space to be more productive than you were, maybe doing non-serverless solution build?
Yeah, definitely. We can say like serverless, because of serverless, lot of manual processing and manual jobs being reduced. After migrating or adapting to serverless technology, even in the DevOps side also, there is lot of automation process that comes into exist because of this serverless activity, because of function, either it's a web jobs or whatever it is. Serverless accompanying a lot of productivities, not only in a developer end as well as in a DevOps end also. So it increasing the productivity.
Yeah, definitely is. Look, I think we might wrap our short chat up here. I just wanted to give you an opportunity, if you have places online where people can find you. Where's the best place for people to go and maybe read some blogs about stuff that you're doing, or see some of the work that you're contributing if you're doing open source work? Where can people find out a bit more about you and connect with you online?
Yeah, actually, I'm speaking in all the community events of Azure service, as well as in other perspective of .NET Core development also. You can reach me out through my LinkedIn as well as my Twitter. I'm very active on both the platform. So let me share my LinkedIn ID as well as my Twitter ID at the end of this session. So you can reach me there, and you can follow my blogs everywhere in my LinkedIn as well as and my community events there.
Great. Thanks a lot for your time today, Menaka. I look forward to seeing the session. Make sure that we'll put the details for Twitter and LinkedIn up on the screen over this video when we put it up. But I really appreciate your time talking to me today, and speak to you again soon, hopefully.
Thank you, Simon. It's really a great opportunity for me to meet this community.